With that, I will call the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting to order at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. I have with me on the board from the far left, Rob Scott, Georgia Pendergast, John Benares, myself, Sarah Mellish, the chair, and Sean Zahn. And also with us is Sue Philbrick from the liaison from the planning board. So we have 5 applications tonight. The first application we're going to start with is the 329 Summer Street. With that, I move to open the public hearing for the application of 329 Summer Street, LLC, Edward P. Scott, for a special permit under sections 5.3, 7.2, and 12.5 of the zoning bylaw, and other relief as may be necessary to extend an existing encroachment into the side setback in order to convey parcel A containing 13,032 square feet to 323 Summer Street at 329 Summer Street, Assessors Map number 6, Lot number 8, in District A, filed with the town clerk on October 15, 2024. Who's going to present this application?
I will. I represent Ed Scott, 329 Summer Street, LLC. I'm Orestes Brown from the Taxis Brown Pigeon. And as you can see from the plan, if everybody's got a copy, Mr. Scott essentially is, we are here looking for a special permit pursuant to section 7.2 to extend an existing side lot nonconformity. It's the only nonconformity that we have to deal with. And as you see in the plan, the side lot nonconformity is on the side of the property that it shares with the abutting lot to which we're swapping some land over to. So if you look in the corner of the building, the lot as it currently exists, the lot line only currently as it is creates a non-conforming side lot line only for about half of the building that exists on what is the address?
323. 329.
329 Summer Street, yes. So if you can see, 329 Summer Street, the existing lot line goes halfway down the building. So it's only non-conforming for that distance. And then, of course, after that, we have a conforming setback. So in order to do the land swap, we're creating a new lot line that is going to extend that non-conformity for some, I'm not sure it shows there, but, at least 10, 12 feet. So we need a special permit, technically, to extend that nonconformity in order to leave what is otherwise a completely conforming lot. We want to leave it illegal. We want the structures, of course, to remain legally existing. So we're not proposing any changes to any of the structures. We're not proposing any changes to any use. We're simply moving a portion of the property over to the abutting property that Ed owns as well to create more parking for 323 Summer Street. So other than that, it's a lot. It's conforming as to size. It's conforming as to frontage. It's conforming to all the other setbacks. It's conforming as to lot coverage. There aren't any other existing nonconformities. If you want, I can go through all the factors in 6.3, but it doesn't seem like it's necessary.
Let me take questions from the board and see. George, did you have any questions?
I do just have a clarifying question, and I think I know the answer, but just because swapping lot lines can be confusing sometimes. So when I'm looking at the plan, the house here has a clear line of this is where the property ends now.
Yes.
It's a long line, it's 52
yes.
feet long. So now the purpose of this plan is to make this lot line end back here.
Behind the garage.
Behind the garage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then there's also a small pie shape to the street.
A pie shaped?
Oh yeah, I see that right of way.
Yeah.
Oh yes, there is, yeah.
Right?
Right, there is, yes. It goes up the right of way. So it squares off the right of way.
Yeah, okay.
That was added years ago to make the driveway to go to the back of the property, my father bought that little pie shape from our neighbor years ago just to make it wide enough to make a driveway to go out back.
Okay. And why didn't you add enough acreage to make it a conforming, to make 323 a conforming lot?
But now,
Yeah, I mean, this brings it up to about 17,000 square feet.
yeah,
And if you had added,
17.6.
yeah, if you had added more, you could have brought it to 22.5 to make it a conforming lot. You didn't want to do that.
Well,
I
I
didn't.
don't think they have
you'd
it.
probably have to carve out into that backyard on
Someone
lot
writes
one.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I see, because he owns both lots. That if you're on the site visit, we found it. He owns both. He owns lot 1 and parcel A on the plan.
Come in and have a seat.
I guess my answer would be I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
That's my
Look
honest
at that, think of
answer.
it, his objective was just to square off the lots and create parking,
Right.
and
Can you do that next
didn't really
round?
consider it.
Yeah. Come back next month.
Rob, do you have any questions?
No questions.
You can understand what this is. We were kind of confused. Are you all set, John?
Yeah.
I'm all set.
Yes, sir. Please state your name and address.
William Buster, 8 Ocean Street, I bought the property, how are you? What I want to know is that behind the property, I looked at the plan, I was confused because I don't understand any of it. There's a huge parking lot already with, you could drive a Mack truck in there and turn it around. So is there, like, am I missing something on a land swap to create something that is already in existence? In other words, is there, and I don't mean to sound, critical or anything, does this land increase to, or swap, change usage, future usage, developmental usages, according to today's zoning, that have nothing to do with what's being said in this room tonight? That's what my question
Okay,
is.
let me explain that. So that parking lot that exists today is not on the land owned by 323. That's owned by the 329, which is one of the reasons to the lot swap. They're taking 13,000 square feet, creating a parcel of 13,000 square feet, and 323 is currently 4,600 square feet. So that will create a lot of 17,632. A conforming lot is 22,500. So this lot is still not conforming. So any changes to the structure would have to come through the ZBA for a special permit, because it's a non-conforming lot.
So in a week, a day, a month, a year, does this open up something else that is not being discussed this evening, other than who wouldn't want parking and being able to turn around on a lot that you own? Is there anything else that's not being stated here that is going to change the usage of the property or the potential usage of the property because of this land swap? That's what my question is.
This is a single family resident zone. So you can only have one house on it. So you can't use it for anything else.
But that property is used as more than one house, and
Well, I think they have
more than
a
one
grand
dwelling
total.
unit.
Yeah.
How many units are in that?
It's 2.
2.
Right. So that, because there were 2 families in there before zoning came into existence.
There was one there, and then didn't we add where the office was located, a residential unit?
That's next door.
That's next door.
323 is a 2-family. It's always been a 2-family.
Okay, and the property next door, which one is the one with the big parking area that abuts me with the garage?
Currently, that's 329.
Okay, and that's,
And what I'm looking to do is just extend, 323 is a postage stamp.
okay,
You can't do when it was built in 1900, they did 4,600 square feet. I have no idea why.
right.
And I'm just looking to make the lot more, the property more functional, I guess would be my description. To be able to use the garage and have, because right now there's no parking, or anything for that property.
So the property that has parking in front of it right now currently, the yellow house, right? Is it yellow?
No, it's kind of a brownish gray, but yeah, the 4-family.
329.
The four-family has the large parking lot behind it now.
Right.
And then the adjoining property has a very small postage stamp lot. So we're taking land from the 4-unit and putting it over to the 2-family.
Yeah. Just to make it a usable lot, because the way it is now, there's just nothing there.
Have you seen the map?
I did see a copy of it. Is there a copy of the plan of what we're discussing here tonight?
I don't have an extra
Available.
copy to give you, but I can have you look at it. if you
I
like.
actually have it online, I think. But yeah, I'll take a look at what you have, because looking at it on the phone is not easy.
So this is the existing lot for 323.
Right.
And what he's doing is he's taking all of this land from 329 and adding it to 323. This parcel A.
And it's also noted, still not a legal building lot. Which
Right.
is,
So this is the
Two-family.
two-family, and this is the 4-unit?
Yep.
And we're taking
Land from the 4-unit
this one.
to the 2-unit because
on
the
site visit,
4-unit one, the property is 54,000 square feet and it's only required to have 22,500. So it can transfer the 13,000 and this property still is conforming. And all he's asking for is a special permit because of the closeness of this structure to the property line. That's the only reason he needs to come before us. Because it's in the setback today. And now by extending the line of the property, of this new parcel, he's extending the portion of the building that's in the setback, and that requires a special permit. Okay.
So that land that's a big parking lot now was not with that property?
No.
Any other questions from the public in the room? Any questions from the public on Zoom? If so, please raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none. I will move to close the public hearing and have the board enter into deliberations with respect to the application. Do I have a second? Rob seconds. Roll call vote. John?
Proof.
Rob?
Approve.
Georgia?
Approve.
John? 0. Any discussion among the board?
Clear to me what you're trying to do, and I'm okay with that.
Me as well, and I just want to note on the site visit, just the reasoning behind if septic system needed to be upgraded, gives more usable room. Just adding more square footage to the lot doesn't harm. And it's still under what is required, so.
I mean, the only question I have is, would you like to maybe propose a conforming lot at another hearing?
I guess I plead ignorance. Is that something that makes sense?
Makes sense
I
to
think
me.
Russ can explain.
It makes sense to me, but
Yes, it could. I mean, it's always good to move in the direction of conformity, which he's doing. So there's, that is a positive, just what he's doing now. Does it make a difference? Offhand, I can't think of how to make a practical difference because the buildings are currently non-conforming as to use. That's just so. And I haven't
So for it's
I can't
17,
think of how this change impacts that use.
But just in the future.
Yeah.
If it was to make a change, you would.
Yeah, well,
so
yeah.
how many more square feet would I, it's 17,000,
So you need 22,500.
so another 5,000, because, I mean,
This is a
I
very
could-
large lot next door.
I mean, I could bump into the backyard more,
Right.
you know.
Good.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
and
this-
it is true that, you know, there's been a line of cases, and I'm sure you're all familiar with that. When you're expanding a house on a non-conforming lot, even if you're doing it a non-conforming way, sometimes that requires a special permit. But that law has since kind of been turned on its head a couple of years ago, I think it was. So I'm not sure it practically makes any difference anymore. The building inspector now has more power to decide whether an expansion of a house on a non-conforming lot requires a special permit. But it's true that on a non-conforming lot, generally, if you're going to expand a residence, there's a lot more that you have to consider legally, even if you're doing it in a conforming way. So, yeah, I guess leaving it, would it be more advantageous to the smaller lot to be conforming? Probably.
That's it.
So
This way,
yeah, for expansion, if he was
otherwise you're
going
looking
to
at a
expand
puzzle
the,
piece, you know?
if he was going to expand the structure somewhere, but he's not planning on doing it now, so.
But is that something?
So maybe we
I
will
could
be back.
revisit that at another point if,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
No, that's all your discretion.
you have to create another parcel on there.
Yeah.
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 Okay. With that, I move to approve the application of 329 Summer Street LLC, Edward P. Scott, for a special permit under sections 5.3, 7.2, and 12.5 of the zoning bylaw, and or other relief as may be necessary to extend an existing encroachment into the side setback in order to convey a 13,032 square foot parcel of land to the abutting property at 323 Summer Street, which currently is a 4,600 square foot lot. At 329 Summer Street, Assessors Map number 6, Lot number 8, District A, filed with the town clerk on October 15, 2024, based on a finding the conveyance of parcel A containing 13,032 square feet to increase the size of an existing 4,600 square foot lot is in harmony with the purpose and intent of the bylaw, will not be substantially more detrimental or injurious to the neighborhood in which it is located than the existing parcels of land, and the requirements and conditions under section 12.5.2 of the zoning bylaw for the grant of a special permit have been met. Based on the condition, parcel A is conveyed to the abutter, and the boundaries of parcel A are as depicted on the plan of land prepared by Hancock Associates dated 6/12/2024. Do I have a second?
A second.
Sean, second. Any discussion? Take a vote. Rob?
Yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Sean?
Approved.
And Sarah votes yes. Who would like to rate this? Sean will write. Who would like to review it?
I will.
Georgia will review it. Okay.
Thank you very
Well
much.
said.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
The next application is 12 Boardman Ave. I move to open the public hearing for the application of John and Leslie Gurley for a variance under sections 5.3 and 12.3.3 of the zoning bylaw and other relief as may be necessary to connect the primary structure to an existing conforming detached garage, which will encroach into the side setback for a primary structure and construct a 117 square foot addition to the conforming primary structure, which will encroach into the side setback at 12 Boardman Ave, Assessors Map number 24, lot number 23,
What's your address?
in District E, filed with the town clerk on October 15th, 2024. Do I have a second to open the hearing? Tom.
Yeah, and that way.
Vote, Rob.
Not until we quiet down the hallway.
Yeah.
Don't have to go home, it's Wednesday here.
Thank you. Rob,
Yes.
Georgia,
Yes.
John.
Yep.
John.
Yes.
Sarah Bush. Okay. Is somebody here to present this application?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the zoning board. For the record, my name is Tobin Schulman. I'm the architect on the project with SB Design.
Okay.
May I share my screen? I sent a request to share my screen. Aha, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Are folks able to see the site plan?
Yes.
Pretty good. So this is 12 Boardman Ave. This property is owned by John and Leslie Gurley. The property as it exists today slopes steeply from Boardman Ave down to a flat area in approximately the center of the lot where the existing house and detached garage are located, and then slopes down again to the retaining wall and to the ocean. What we're looking to do is a series of small additions, but the salient ones for the purposes of this hearing, I'll zoom in here, is in addition to the primary suite in here and a connection to the existing detached garage that's here. Now, were the garage to remain detached, it would conform to the setbacks for an accessory structure, but given that once it is connected, it becomes a part of the primary structure, it becomes, by that connection, non-conforming. So the side setback there is at 17.8, where it's required to be 20. Likewise, with this small extension of the primary suite, due to the shape of the lot and the way that the property line takes this hard jog and narrows toward the rear, the corner of that proposed addition is encroaching upon that setback again by the amount indicated. So about 1.5 feet on that side of this triangle that you see here. The property itself, the lot itself, is it's non-conforming with regard to the lot area, but is otherwise conforming with regard to width, frontage, lot coverage, and impervious area. And front and rear setbacks obviously are fine, but with these proposals, we are finding ourselves in violation of the side setbacks and looking for relief on that front. I can flip through to, you all have copies of these plans, but again, showing the layout of the home. Now in this plan, the ocean is on this side, Boardman is at the bottom of the page, and the areas that I've highlighted in red here are the areas that are going over the setbacks in question. So again, looking for relief for those pieces due to the shape and topography of the lot. And happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you. Georgia, do you have any questions?
So the nonconformity, what you're creating here, the nonconformity is that small little bump out on the left side of the home?
So
the master
it's-
bedroom, the bathroom?
Correct.
It's minor, right?
The only newly constructed nonconformity is the triangle of space. Again, let me reshare my screen. I apologize.
Or let me rephrase, is that the one little triangle that's needing a variance?
We've got two variances.
Two variants. Okay, so this other small
Correct.
triangle up to the
So-
garage. There, that's great. That helps.
Yeah, this is the newly created piece. This piece is here today. It exists on the lot today, but the garage is not connected to the house, and so it is not a currently this garage is not subject to the setbacks of the primary structure. It's subject to the setback for an accessory structure, but once we connect them, as we propose to, this becomes a nonconformity.
Thank you.
Rob, you have any questions?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
John? John?
No, everything was covered up.
So can you explain again exactly what the hardship is?
So it's really relating to the shape and the topography of the lot. I believe you were out to visit the site. Is that correct? Or some of you were on the weekend.
I guess my question is for the addition for the master bedroom towards the harbor,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it possible, or is it possible to do an addition that wouldn't encroach into the setback, or is the problem that the house is not square to the lot line?
Yeah, well, you can see from the site plan that the shape of the lot is sort of, it's not rectangular, right? It starts wider, it hits the rod and jogs in substantially relative to the location of the existing home on the lot, and so it tapers. We sort of run out of road on that side by 1.5 feet.
Could we say one thing?
Sure. If I may offer, thank you for
Mr. Gurley, for the record.
John Gurley, 12 Boardman Avenue, West Leslie. The current existing closet and bathroom associated with the primary bedroom is small and narrow enough where it would be, we plan to age in place in this house, and we would like to have it available for us as we get older and need more space to get in and out. It would provide us a better access to our bathroom, where really it's kind of a one-person bathroom at present. It's also, when we looked at staying in conformity with the lot line, it actually extends further out towards the water, and I think would affect our neighbor on that side, Austin and Lila O'Keefe, more than by going over and staying, closer to the house. Our neighbors have indicated that they're in full support of this. The ones that are affected on that side of the house. He texted me the other day, can't come tonight, but he was in full support of this minor triangular space that would be non-conforming space. That's really so helping us to stay in place there and having a little more space for our primary bathroom closet.
And a little interruption, to them as possible.
We're actually trying to minimize the
Yeah.
encroachment on their view that cut across if we were to push out further. We had another plan that Tobin had formed that would actually conform on that, but it would actually extend further out.
And presumably, you could raise the garage and move it to the west, so it would conform, but I'm presuming that would be at a significant cost.
Right, we did consider that. It would add cost, and the current garage has been there for a long time, and we're not planning to go closer to their lot line. It's an existing structure. It's just connecting it. Again, as we age, the idea would be to provide access from the house to the garage without having to go outside.
Is there any member of the public in the room who would like to speak on this application? Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to speak? If so, please raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing nothing. I move to close the public hearing and have the board enter into deliberations with respect to the application. Do I have a second?
A second.
One second. Vote. Rob?
Yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Sarah votes yes. Are you discussion?
I think the disruption here is minimal, and I'm fine with that. Straightforward.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think the Gurleys have been mindful of the intrusion into the side setback while also taking into account their neighbors and the view. View is not in the bylaw, but you were accountable to that. And for my own personal, after I left the site visit, I kind of said, well, what's the hardship on the variance? And with topography, but 10A also talks about the existing location of structures that are existing. And I feel like in this case, your house is so close to the side setback that if you wanted to add a little bit, no matter what, it would be infringing on that. So in my mind, that is a hardship in that the location of the existing structure and the topography and shape of the lot and all that. But really what it comes down to is where the house is now. I think you worked in with the way you needed to. So, yeah.
Well,
You have a little over 200 square feet total addition. It's certainly not going to be a detriment to the neighborhood. So.
It's minimal at best. I mean, is there a real hardship?
well, I think what they're arguing is that the shape of the land creates a hardship. And on the garage piece, it's a financial hardship if you have to completely tear down a garage that's been there and replace it. I think the challenge with the addition on the harbor side is the encroachment is, what, about 2 feet?
Yeah.
A little over 2 feet.
A little over 2 feet.
And because of the way the house is situated, you would kind of have to go much further towards the harbor if you had that addition be in line with the setback. It's the site, part of it's the siting of the structure on the property.
Eventually that house, the corner would just meet up with the lot line because of the way it's situated on the lot.
And it would be
This
created on
is very
shape
common.
road.
Yeah. We see this a lot in this town.
And it's 117 square foot addition, so it's not.
Yeah, it's not like a family room extension that's 30 feet out.
Right.
I agree with that.
Yeah. You ready for me to make a motion?
Sure.
I move to approve the application of John and Leslie Gurley for a variance under sections 5.3 and 12.3.3 of the zoning bylaw and/or other relief as may be necessary to construct a 100-square-foot addition to connect the primary structure to an existing conforming detached garage, which will encroach 2.3 feet into the east side setback for a primary structure, and construct a 117-square-foot addition to the conforming primary structure, which will encroach 1.7 feet into the west side setback at 12 Boardman Ave, Assessors Map number 24, Lot number 23 in District E, filed with the Town Clerk on October 15, 2024, based on a finding that owing to circumstances relating to the topography and shape of such land or structures, especially affecting such land or structures, but not affecting generally the zoning district in which it is located, a literal enforcement of the provisions of the bylaw would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the applicants by requiring the raising and reconstruction of the garage to move it about 2 feet and requiring the addition on the ocean side to be moved closer to the ocean, potentially impeding the abutters' views to avoid a 1.7-foot encroachment into the setback, and that the desired relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good, without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of the bylaw, based on the following conditions. The additions are located as depicted on the ZBA plot plan prepared by Griffin Engineering Group LLC, dated October 11, 2024. The proposed additions are constructed substantially in accordance with the plans provided for SV Design LLC, dated September 9/26, 2024, X 1.1. Now, we have two A 1.2. I believe the first A 1.2 is the existing loft. Normally,
Yes, ma'am. That's a scrivener's error. Apologies for that. That should be X 1.2.
Okay.
Exists.
X 1.3, X 2.1, X 2.2, A 1.1, and A 1.2 again, the proposed loft, A 1.3, A 2.1, and A 2.2. Do I have a second?
I second.
John second. Any discussion? Ready to vote. Okay. Rob?
Yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
John?
Approved.
John?
Approved.
And Sarah approves. 5-0. I'll write this one. Who would like to review it?
I can review.
John will review. Okay. Thank you. You're all set.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, have a good day.
The next one is 19 Smith Point Road. I move to open the public hearing for the application of 19 SPR Nominee Trust, Meredith Pasquesi, I don't know, for a special permit under sections 2.0, 4.2, and 12.5 of the zoning bylaw, and or other relief as may be necessary to construct a swimming pool at 19 Smiths Point Road, Assessors Map number 20, Lot number 16, in District E, filed with the Town Clerk on October 15, 2024. Do I have a second?
A second.
John second. So, Rob?
Yes.
Georgia? Yes. John?
Yes.
John?
Approved.
Sarah votes yes. Is there somebody here to present the application?
Yes, good evening. My name is Jay Blackwood with Hancock Associates. I'm representing the
What was the
applicant.
last name again?
Blackwood.
Blackwood.
I'm going to spell it here. I'm representing the applicant in their special permit for a swimming pool at 19 Smith Point Road. Here with me tonight is Chris Horiochi, who is the landscape architect. She's doing it via Zoom.
Okay.
I believe that the general contractor, Jeff Waller, is here as well. You guys met Jeff on site on Saturday. So here's the plan that we've prepared. I've kind of colored it up. This is a blown up version of the plan that you guys have already. West Point Road is over here. The ocean's over here. In blue is the proposed or current or to be being built houses. They're all in different stages of completion. The yellow buildings are the pre-construction buildings. Lot lines are in orange. Setback lines are in pink. 100-foot buffer zone, etc. The swimming pool in question is here in green. So the swimming pool is well within all property line setbacks. It's over 200 feet away from many abutting dwellings. It meets all of the regulations in the code. In red is what is the swimming pool protection. So it's parts of it are a fence with gates that are pool compliant gates. Other parts of this pool protection are a 4-foot high retaining wall, and then some of it's just the building itself. So the pool equipment is stored behind the carriage house in the utility corral. That's what the team is calling it. So the pool is situated behind the house and is blocked from the road or any views are not obstructed by the pool itself. The pool is protected from the abutting dwellings by the house and the carriage house. There are no large light poles or spotlights or anything proposed. The pool itself will have a couple lights. The house has lights on it. And they're all dark sky compliant. And there was already, in the existing dwelling in the basement, there was a pool previously, so there's a pool on site before. This is just going to be an exterior pool. This project's gone before the planning board for topographic changes. It was approved. The project's been before the Conservation Commission for any work within the buffer zone. It's also been approved. I think that's about it. We can answer any questions you guys might have.
What's the size of the pool?
22 feet by 40 feet.
Bob, any questions?
So what are you seeking relief from?
It's just for the pool, for the special permit.
Every pool needs a special permit.
Yeah.
But everything else is conforming, there's no issue.
Yeah, existing, the carriage house and greenhouse are non-conforming structures. Those are being removed and becoming conforming structures, but that's outside of what we're here for.
Right. But there's no setback issues or anything?
No.
That's all.
Good job. John? Are there any members of the public in the room who would like to speak on this application? Is there any member of the public on Zoom who would like to speak on this application? If so, please raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing and have the board enter into deliberations with respect to the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Georgia seconds. Vote. Rob?
Yes.
Georgia? Yes. John?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Sarah votes yes. Thoughts?
It's a pool.
Is there still a pool in the basement?
So the house that was there has been demolished and they're in process of constructing a new building. But
It had an internal pool?
It had an indoor pool.
Yes, I'm new to that. I didn't realize
yeah.
that. Got it.
Yeah.
So the pool on site that existed before was not exterior, it was interior.
It was in the basement, and I was told that it was constructed after the house, so I don't know.
You don't have a pool in your basement?
I don't.
You don't need approval. You don't need approval for an indoor pool. Only an outdoor pool.
That's a very good point. Besides that, no comments or questions.
Okay, I will. Ready for me to make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay. I move to approve the application of 19 SPR nominee trust Meredith Pasquisi for a special permit under sections 2.0, 4.2, and 12.5 of the zoning bylaw and/or other relief as may be necessary to construct a 22-foot by 40-foot swimming pool and pervious patio with 4-foot high walls and fencing at 19 Smiths Point Road, Assessor's Map number 20, Lot number 16 in District E, filed with the town clerk on October 15, 2024, based on a finding the construction of the swimming pool is in harmony with the purpose and intent of the bylaw, will not be substantially more detrimental or injurious to the neighborhood in which it is located, and the requirements and conditions under section 12.5.2 of the zoning bylaw, the grant of a special permit, have been met based on the following conditions. The pool and pervious patio are located as depicted on C1 and C2 pool plot plan prepared by Hancock Associates dated October 15, 24. The pool shall be surrounded by 4-foot high walls and fences as depicted on said pool plot plan, and doors and windows shall contain alarms in any location with direct access to the resident. Any lighting on the adjacent structure shall be dark sky compliant, and lights within the pool shall be low voltage LED lights, and no additional lighting shall be included on the surrounding patio. Is that correct?
So there's some minor landscape lighting, but it's very small. No spotlights or lamp poles or anything like that.
So the landscape lighting would be LED?
Yes.
Low voltage?
Yeah, and it
Okay.
would be dark sky compliant too.
Okay. So the last condition is lights within the pool shall be low voltage LED lights, and all landscape lighting shall be low voltage LED dark sky compliant. Do I have a second? Rob seconds. Any discussion?
No.
We're good. Take a vote. Rob?
Yes.
Yes. John?
Approved.
Sean?
Approved.
Sarah approves.
I can write this.
John will write it. Who would like to review it?
I'll review.
Rob will review it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Two down, two to go. Two down.
We're cruising through, it's not bad.
Violent jinx it.
I know.
Okay, so the next one on the agenda is 7 Highwood Road. I move to open the public hearing for the application of Lynn Marshall for a variance under sections 5.3 and 12.3.3 of the zoning bylaw and or other relief as may be necessary to construct a covered walkway to connect the primary structure to an existing conforming detached garage, which will encroach 6.7 feet into the side setback for a primary structure at 7 Highwood Road, Assessor's Map number 29, Lot number 32 in District A, filed with the town clerk on October 15, 2024. Do I have a second?
Second.
John. So, Rob.
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Sarah votes yes. Is there somebody to present the application?
Yes, good evening again. For the record, Tobin Schulman with SB Design, architect on the project. I can share my screen. And go. This is 7 Highwood. Here's Highwood Road. It slopes steeply uphill to the access point, and then there's an easement here by which the owners access their property. Again, sloping up to this generally flat area where the existing dwelling and garage are located. The proposal is to connect the garage to the back door of the home by a roof connection. Again, by doing that, that does make the garage part of the primary structure and therefore subject to the setbacks for the primary structure, which it does not meet. The property in this case is a conforming lot, but the existing structure is non-conforming with this little piece. It's only 17.8 feet from the property line, and if we receive the relief to connect the two structures, the closest side setback becomes this 13.3 feet. So we're not proposing to build any new non-conforming piece to the house, but again, by connecting the two, this becomes part of the primary structure, and therefore is too close to the property line. To literally enforce it and require the garage to meet the side setback would require significant financial, would impose a significant financial hardship on the applicant to tear that down and build it somewhere else, as well as impeding the use of the little bit of their property that's flat. So for those reasons, we're looking for this relief, and I'm happy to answer any questions from the board.
Rob,
No question.
Georgia? No question. John? John?
I know at the site visit, we had a question about the driveway, and if the calculation was figured in, because it has crushed stone there,
Yeah, I
and if they
remember
were
that.
going to do pavement.
I'm sorry, sir, say again, you were wondering if the driveway was included in the calculation?
The coverage.
The coverage.
Yes, sir, it was.
So the fact that you're paving the driveway is now included in the coverage calculation? It's not
Yes.
paved today, okay.
That seems to make sense with the calculations they have.
Okay. Now, you're doing additions to a non-conforming structure. I know the additions are conforming. Have you spoken to the building inspector regarding whether you need a special permit for those additions?
That's a good question. We did speak to the building inspector about the proposal in general, and he didn't indicate that, but that's you would know perhaps better than I would whether that was required.
Well, I think it's somewhat in his discretion. So I think that we wouldn't be able to rule on a special permit tonight anyway because it wasn't included in the public hearing notice. So I do ask that you speak to the building inspector and determine whether you need to come back before us for a special permit for the additions.
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's no member of the public. Is there any member of the public in the room that wants to speak on this application? No. Is there any member of the public on Zoom who wishes to speak on this application? If so, please raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing nobody. With that, I move to close the public hearing and have the board enter into deliberations with respect to the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Georgia seconds. Vote. Rob?
Yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Sarah votes yes.
Madam Chairwoman, before you deliberate, I do just want to draw your attention that unfortunately, once again, on our set of architectural plans, one of the existing drawings was labeled with an A instead of an X. It's A 2.1 on there. should have been labeled X 2.1. So I just wanted to make you aware of that and apologize for that.
The X is the existing condition.
I think proposed exterior elevation.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
In the first A2.1 is accurate.
It's labeled, okay, I see. It's, it says proposed, but it's really existing.
Yeah, the elevations on the sheet are labeled existing. It's the title block. There was a
Okay.
problem with the title block, so sorry about that.
Okay. Okay.
Would it make sense for them to just send us a revised copy? That way when we print this and file it with the town, it's just accurate.
Yeah, so
Can we do
for
that?
both those applications, can you send us electronically the corrected page?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes, no problem.
Okay. Any discussion? No. We're good? I move to approve the application of Wynn Marshall for a variance under sections 5.3 and 12.3.3 of the zoning bylaw and or other relief as may be necessary to construct a covered walkway to connect the primary structure to an existing conforming detached garage, which will encroach 6.7 feet into the side setback for a primary structure at 7 Highwood Road, Assessors Map number 29, lot number 32 in District A, filed with the town clerk on October 15, 2024, based on a finding that owing to circumstances relating to the topography and shape of such land or structures, especially affecting such land or structures, but not affecting generally the zoning district in which it is located, a literal enforcement of the provisions of the bylaw would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the applicant, as ledge on the property does not make it financially feasible to raise and reconstruct the existing conforming garage to move it about 7 feet away from the property line. When the project entails only adding an open covered walkway, and that the desired relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of the bylaw, based on the following condition. The covered walkway is located as depicted on the proposed plan prepared by Donahoe Survey Inc. dated October 9th, 2024. The covered walkway is constructed substantially in accordance with plans prepared by SV Design LLC dated 10/14/24, X1.1, X1.2, X1.3, X2.1, A2.1, which should be X2.1, X2.2, A1.1, A1.2, A1.3, A2.1, and A2.2. Hope I got that right.
Yeah, I think you did.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Georgia seconds. Any discussion? No. Take a vote. Rob?
Yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Sarah votes yes. I'll write this one. Another variant. Who would like to review it?
I can review.
Sean will review it. You're all set.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Last but not least, the application for 9 Proctor Street. I move to open the public hearing for the application of Christopher P. and Christina C. Alvarado, trustees, for a special permit under sections 2.0, 4.2, 7.2, and 12.5 of the zoning bylaw, and where other relief as may be necessary to raise and reconstruct a non-conforming single-family dwelling on a non-conforming lot and install a swimming pool at 9 Proctor Street, Assessors Map number 16, lot number 42 in District E, filed with the town clerk on October 15, 2024. Do I have a second? Georgia seconds. Vote. Rob?
Yes.
Georgia?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
John?
Why not?
Sarah votes yes. Is there somebody here to present the application?
Yes, 4 of us.
Okay.
I'm Mark Lovsky with an office at 8 Washington Street in Beverly. I'm here representing the owner, Chris Comparato, who's to my left. Kerry Byrne from Catalano Architects is to my right. And behind me on the screen is John Moran from Moran Cameron, who's the engineer for the project. And as you just heard, and as 3 of you saw at the site visit, we're requesting 2 special permits, one for an indoor and an in-ground. That last application. We're not putting it in the basement.
You're not putting it in the basement.
It's not going in the basement. An in-ground swimming pool, and the second is a special permit to allow the raising and reconstruction of an existing single-family dwelling on a non-conforming lot. And in fact, the dwelling itself is a little bit non-conforming at the moment. One thing we did at the site visit is distribute an additional plan that showed a colored overlay of the existing and proposed. And I have extra copies if you need additional ones.
I'll take one. Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Get them all.
All right, good. Anyone else?
No, I just gave one to Rob and John. And you have one?
Yep. All right.
The lot at 9 Proctor Street is in a District E zoning district that requires 90,000 square feet of area. The lot only contains 81,163, so it's non-conforming in that respect. It's also non-conforming with respect to lot width and lot frontage, as well as 1 side yard setback, which is currently 19 feet. And as Kerry might explain to you, among other things, the proposed new dwelling will meet the side yard setbacks, and that violation will be eliminated. The criteria for the special permit, as you know, is changed a little bit, and it now requires compliance with the performance standards set forth in the zoning bylaw, as well as the traditional requirements for modifying a non-conforming use. I respectfully suggest that we meet those requirements. I'd be happy to go through them with you, but I think at this point, what I'd rather do is have Kerry explain how the new dwelling is going to be situated, and Chris can add at any point why it's being proposed the way it's being proposed. As those of you who were at the site visit heard and saw, one significant advantage of this is pulling it away from the water and creating a backyard. But Kerry will explain all this.
Sure. As you can see with the...
Could you just state your
sorry.
name and...
Kerry Byrne with Catalano Architects, the architect project. And just to briefly overview the proposed dwelling, we have a proposed 4-bedroom single family replacing the existing structure on site. There is the kind of main bulk of the garage with an attached garage set behind the home. As Mark mentioned, we are proposing that the new structure is pulled back further from the water than the existing home, trying to be cognizant of work in the buffer and the do not disturb, and while still, proposed for the homeowners, the adequate living space and what they're looking for. So remaining further back from the water, we are within the height limitations and the coverage in the other. As Mark alluded to, the 3 of the existing nonconformities are remaining just due to lot width and size and frontage, but the side setback we are improving upon to eliminate that nonconformity. And the style is what we feel is sympathetic to kind of a New England vernacular, including natural materials, cedar and stone and painted siding, and looking to capture views and be respectful of the neighbors and sight lines and all of that. So we've been through review with conservation, and that was approved yesterday. And so we've been through a very thorough evaluation of the pool and the other structures on site, and so we're looking for a special permit.
And just to be clear, this one we have with the yellow on it, am I correct? The yellow is the existing structures?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Question. Georgia.
I have a minor question.
Okay.
Only because it piques my interest. But so you have the pool, and then you have the hot tub, and then there's 2 things next to the hot tub that say proposed water features. What are those? Are those koi pond, or what are they? It's just my own interest.
Yeah, so I can either speak to it, Chris Comparado, the owner, and then we also have Joe Waller from Stimson and Associates. Joe's the landscape architect. One correction is the spa is now part of the proposed pool, so so there's no longer a spa that's separate. The spa is actually within the pool. So so the spa's not relevant anymore. And on the water feature, Joe, you may be able to speak to this, but the water feature is just a landscape
Like a
design
garden
with
kind of
short,
pond.
Yeah, sure.
It's a garden feature.
We're on the same page. That's exactly what I thought. Okay, that was my only question.
Can you confirm the size of the swimming pool?
16.5 feet by 50.
Did you have questions, Rob?
No questions.
John?
I don't have any.
I do have one question. The architect plans that we were provided. We have, at the very end, we have we have 2 pages of north elevation pictures. Looking at pictures.
You didn't get the south elevation?
Well, I just realized I did.
Oh.
It's a separate page, but there's 2 pages of north
and 1 of south,
and they look different.
Correct. We have actually since combined them. It was more just a scale issue, and so they are meant to be consecutive. There's a match line. So we can, we'd be happy to resubmit kind of a combined, but if you hold the match lines up to one another, they are the continuous, where you see the garage, and then it flows into.
Oh, I see.
So we have since reduced the scale onto a single page, and we'd be happy to provide if that would just be.
That would be great.
For both the north and the south.
Okay.
Also for the pool, is that combining?
Oh, yeah. Sean says we also will need the new landscape no new plan for the pool, which shows the elimination of the hot tub, including it in the pool.
We can do that.
Okay. And what is happening regarding lighting in the pool and patio area?
Joe, would you
Joe, would you like to speak to the lighting?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear. Yeah, I can speak to that. Joe Waller with Stimson Landscape Architects. We have low voltage LED lights in the pool and also low voltage dark sky compliant landscape lights in the surrounding areas.
I see no member of the public in the room. Therefore, I will see, is there any member of the public on Zoom who would like to speak on this application? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing none?
You're having an easy night.
I know.
Don't jinx us, Mark.
I know. We have
What
your
can-
vote left. With that, I move to close the public hearing and have the board enter into deliberations with respect to the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Rob seconds. Vote, Rob.
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Sarah Bush, yes. Okay. Thoughts? Concerns?
It's an improvement.
It is.
It's a significant improvement.
I like the fact that the house is being pulled off
Yes.
the water.
Yep.
It's a good fact,
I'd agree. They said what I wanted to say, so keep it at that.
Your thoughts, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's really not much space to do with other than what they've got here.
Yeah. Okay. So you ready to make a motion?
Yes.
You guys don't want to be here long, do you?
If I may,
It's hot
Yes,
in here.
Mr. Duffy.
I think it would probably be appropriate to have two motions, one on the special permit for the in-ground swimming pool, and second, the special permit for raising and reconstructing the house.
I was going to do it all as one.
Oh, you could, but
Is that okay?
yes, I probably should have said the word.
He is trying to make
You're
it a
gonna
longer
get
night for us.
I move to approve the application of Christopher P. and Christina C. Comparado, trustees, for special permits under sections 2.0, 5.2, 7.2, and 12.5 of the zoning bylaw. Do I need to add another section in there?
I didn't catch all those sections.
Do I need? Oh.
Could you state that again?
2.0 and 4.2, which are the pool. 7.2 and 7.5, we don't need, I don't think we need 5.2 because this isn't altering an existing structure. You're completely building a new one.
Right. About 12.5.
Yeah, I got 12.5.
Oh, you did.
Okay. So sections 2.0, 4.2, 7.2, and 12.5 of the zoning bylaw and or other relief as may be necessary to raise and reconstruct a non-conforming single-family dwelling on a non-conforming lot and install a swimming pool at 9 Proctor Street, Assessors Map number 16, lot number 42, in District E, filed with the town clerk on October 15, 2024, based on a finding the proposed project to raise and reconstruct a single-family reconstruct a conforming single-family dwelling on a non-conforming lot and to construct a 16.5 foot by 50 foot swimming pool is in harmony with the purpose and intent of the bylaw, will not be substantially more detrimental or injurious to the neighborhood in which it is located than the existing nonconforming residence, and the requirements and conditions under 12.5.2 of the zoning bylaw for the grant of a special permit have been met based on the following conditions. All structures, including the pool and pervious patio, are located as depicted on the two-page plan to accompany special permit prepared by the Moore and Cameron Group, Inc., dated 12/15/24. It's my understanding we'll receive a revised plan. So I'll say as revised, and I'll enter in the date later. The project shall be constructed substantially in accordance with the plans prepared by Catalano Lano Architects, dated 10/14/24. First floor plan, second floor plan, basement floor plan, roof plan, main house east and west elevations, main house south elevations, north elevation, south elevation. Is that correct?
Correct, and to be revised with the.
Okay. To be updated. Okay. The pool shall be surrounded by 4-foot-high fence, and doors or windows in the residence with direct access to the pool shall contain alarms, and the fence shall comply with Manchester by the Sea general bylaws and the Massachusetts Building Code. Any lighting in the patio area or within the pool shall be low voltage LED lights, LED dark sky compliant light. Anything else? Take a second.
A second.
John second. Any discussion? No. Take a vote. Rob?
Yes.
Tricia?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Sarah votes yes. Anybody want to rewrite this?
Are we ready for me to write one? Because I
You want to try?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll review it if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. Don't worry, it'll be fine. I've written many decisions but not here, so.
So you're all set.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say that on the last one, on Highland Street, Highland,
Highwood?
Highwood, I don't think they need the variance because the house already has a violation of the side yard setback.
You're right.
And you can go closer to the line with a special permit. You don't need a variance. So when they attach the garage to the house, all they're doing is playing with that side yard setback, so there's no variance required.
Even though it's a completely separate line, it's the same side.
Right.
Yep, you're right.
Well, it's just the reason for being here.
We're not their attorneys, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Okay. Whew. We received minutes for October 23rd. Did people have a chance to look at those?
I did.
I did. Any changes? I didn't have anything either. I move to approve the minutes from October 23rd, 2024.
Second.
Sean seconds. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Status of decisions, I have one outstanding.
I think I was reviewing that.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll do it tomorrow when it pours.
Good, we need the rain.
Since I didn't get my yard work done because I had much other stuff to do.
Well, you won't get it done now if it's all wet.
So as I mentioned earlier, we did not receive any, the deadline for applications for December was Monday of this week, and we didn't receive any. So we will not be meeting on December 18th. I hope that won't upset anybody.
I blocked it off. I had plans to come here.
Anything else? The decision from HAC that was a draft decision, the final has not yet been issued.
Okay.
The town and the 10 persons group objected, and I guess they're looking at it. So that's the status of that. And I was supposed to provide hard copies of that stuff tonight, but I'll send it out electronically since it hit the cricket.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So I'll send out the draft HAC decision and something else.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
Just
good.
So that people wanted it, just see what was going on. And the select board did vote to appeal it. Anything else we need to cover?
No, that was it.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'd be so quick with the seconds. I can't keep up with you,
Sean's
Sean.
the second master.
I'm trying to move this along. I'm like, what?
You're so. I'm trying to be. I can't.
I don't
be.
say it because I know you're gonna second.
You got the PR. You got the PR record over here.
All in favor of adjourning?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.